Hello friends, it is Stasia and welcome back to my channel for a new reading vlog. So, depending on how fast I can read, which will hopefully be fast enough, you guys are hopefully seeing this either on or very near Valentine's Day. So, happy Valentine's Day. It definitely won't be before Valentine's Day, so it's either going to be after or day of, like I said, depending on how fast I read. But anyways, so I figured today or like this week, there's gonna be lots of videos with like romance recommendations and just feeling very happy about the season of love and Valentine's Day. So I kind of took it the opposite direction and decided to break my own heart. So in this reading vlog, we will be reading hopefully three books that will apparently make me cry. So we're gonna see if they do. I've never genuinely sobbed to a book, like sobbed so much that I couldn't see through my tears. I've had a couple books that have made me shed a couple tears, but I've never truly sobbed. So these books are from Instagram. I put a poll on my story and I was like, what book just made you cry? Like you just couldn't stop crying. It's the saddest thing you've ever read. So I took three of those books that either came up a lot or I just see a lot of people crying about. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. I'm not going to tell you the book until I get to the book because there's still other options. I'm not entirely 100% sure on the books that I want to read for this vlog, but I have picked my first one. And I am nervous because Rylan, my bestie, if you're new here, she's my bestie. If you've been here, you know that I mention her like every other video, but it's fine. So Rylan sobs to this book every single time. She's reread it and still has sobbed so hard. So we're gonna see if it'll do anything to me. And that is 1,000 Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole. I don't exactly know what this is about. I know that it is a illness of some sort, I think, chronic illness, but I'm not entirely sure what it's about. So I'm going to annotate. I have my tabs here that I think match very nicely with the book. So these are the tabs. This is the book, and we're gonna get reading. So I'm gonna mark it all up, and I guess we will see if I cry. So I will update you guys when I'm about 50% into the book, and we will see my feelings. friends, time for an update because I just reached 50% into 1,000 Boy Kisses. A little over, but the chapters in this book are ridiculously long and I wanted to finish a chapter before I did my update. Let me see if I can set you guys down somewhere. So we are 50% in. Look at all the tabs. Okay, so needless to say, absolutely loving this book. Oh my gosh. So we're 50% in and I've already teared up a couple times. I just feel like this story is so beautiful. It's so heartbreaking. These characters have my entire heart and it just, I can't. So I think maybe we will have a winner. Maybe this will make me cry. So far it's already come pretty close and we're not even at the end. I know what's coming in the end, but like my heart can't handle it if it does. But yeah, so lots of tabs, lots of like little annotations going on here. Yeah, so I am really enjoying it. I don't want to tell you too much about the book because I want you guys to, like, if you're planning on reading it, I want you to just go in and know the bare minimum. So I'm going to tell you the bare minimum. So this story follows Poppy and Rune. At the age of 5, Rune moves in next door to Poppy. Instantly, Poppy approaches him. They become sort of best friends. She's like, we're gonna be best friends, and that's what's gonna happen. So it kind of follows Poppy and Rune as, you know, they're friends through high school and all of that stuff. When they are 15, Rune needs to leave, so they kind of get separated, and now this story follows well, it does have like a little bit of the before, like when they're younger, but it then kicks off again 2 years later when they are 17 and Rune has just returned. But there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of tension. They both have broken hearts and we're trying to figure out what got them to this point after reading the first half. So it's very, 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 very beautiful. So I originally went into this thinking it was a romance, and while it does follow Poppy and Rune, I feel it is more contemporary. This is following their story, not necessarily their love story, but just their life together, where they started, where they're at now, how they got from A to B, and all of these struggles that they're needing to overcome. So I was talking to Rylan about it, and I definitely do think that it is more of a contemporary than like a straight romance. Also did not know that this is considered YA, so because they're obviously like 17 for most of it. So far, really enjoying it. I have about 50% left to go. The first half is completely tabbed. I hope that I don't run out of tabs, but I think I might because everything is sad. Like, I don't know if you guys could tell, but there's like a lot of blue because there's already so many sad parts. So I know what's coming. I'm dreading what's coming. Let's see if I cry, I guess. So I'm gonna get back into reading. Currently on live with Rylan right now, doing some sprints. So gonna knock out a big chunk now. The goal is to finish this book today, but we'll need to see. I don't have anything planned for tomorrow, so if I don't finish it today, then I could definitely finish it tomorrow. But yeah, so far loving it. Love Poppy, love Rune. Oh my gosh, their romance or like their connection is just so beautiful. And I did mention that the chapters are long, but it's honestly not bothering me at all. Like, I want to just keep reading and reading. So definitely a beautiful book, definitely loving it, but we'll need to see if it makes me cry. So I would check back in with you guys when I finish the book. to talk to you because as you seen in the last clip, I was very sad. I apologize for the changing colors. I was reading by TV light because my husband was playing games and didn't want me to turn on the actual light. But anyways, I did finish 1,000 Boy Kisses. I didn't sob, but there were definitely tears. Very, very sad. So I give this book 5 stars. So good. Look at the tabs. Oh my gosh, I think this is probably one of my most tabbed books. Oh my gosh, this book was so beautiful. So like I said, I gave it 5 stars. There's nothing I can really tell you without spoiling anything. Kind of give you guys like a little synopsis in my 50% update, but it was just written so beautifully. It is considered a YA, but it didn't feel childish to me. I loved Rune. I loved Poppy. Everything. The entire journey. It was just so good. I loved it. I was hesitant on the ending for a little bit, but I actually think I loved how the epilogue ended. I felt like for their story, it needed to be that way. And yeah, so I didn't feel like I was missing anything. I just wholeheartedly loved it. So 5 stars. First book in this vlog has already made me cry. But we're still looking for sobbing. I'm not sure if that's fully possible for me to do with books, but we're gonna try. So far book 1 has made me cry. So now we are on to book 2, which is kind of along the same lines. I know there's like an illness rep, but I'm not entirely sure what it is. So that is Under the Sycamore Tree by B. Celeste. Like I said, I don't super know what it's about. Chapters look short, so that's great, especially after these. The chapters were so long. But yes, so this is the next book. We are very much kind of same vibes, like sort of same color scheme, but this is the next book. I'm not sure if I'm going to annotate it. I don't know. I really am conflicted on whether or not I want to annotate it. But this one is, let's see how long it is. So this one is 356 pages, but it is like smaller in size in comparison to this one. It is smaller, if you guys could tell. I'm pretty sure you could tell. So I think that we'll get through this one pretty fast. But yeah, not entirely sure if I'm going to annotate it. I kind of want to, just because I've fallen in love with annotating. But we'll see. I don't know. But yeah, so this is the next read. Not entirely sure what it's about, but I will update you when I am 50% of the way in. Friends, I am here for my 50% update for Underneath the Sycamore Tree. Overall, I'm enjoying it, but not loving it. I do have lots of tabs in it. But yeah, I'm not super loving it. I feel like it's a pretty slow story. But basically this follows our main character Emery. She had a twin who had passed away from lupus, I believe it was lupus. And now she has been diagnosed with the same thing. So that's kind of who we're following. Her mother didn't take this diagnosis very well after her sister's passing, so she decided to go move in with her dad, which is a bit odd for her because her dad left them when she was a bit younger, so she doesn't have a good relationship with him or anything. But she's finishing out her senior year at her dad's place, and at her dad comes with a new wife and a stepbrother named Caden. So far he's just broody, kind of rude, but yeah, Emery is not really falling for it. Obviously there's some sort of tension, some sort of questions between whether or not something like that could happen. But as for now, we're really just following Emery trying to figure out her life and dealing with this autoimmune disease. So that's pretty much what's going on. Like I said, it's okay so far. Nothing is super sticking out for me, but I'm not like it's not dragging. Like, I don't mind when I pick it up, but yeah, it's nothing like super special for me yet, but there are a lot of like sweet moments that you know is going to turn into more between Emery and Caden. So that is that's mainly like the main thing. Nothing has actually happened between them yet here at 50%, so I'm not exactly sure when or if anything will happen. I thought this was a stepbrother romance, but I'm not entirely sure when that comes into play. But yeah, so we're about 50% in. Not entirely sure how I'm feeling about it, but the first half is kind of just okay. I'm just reading it, but yeah, so now we're gonna jump into the second half. I'm hoping that I can finish this within the next day or so, and then I might wrap up this vlog. I know I said in the intro that I was going to be reading 3 books. I might just do 2 books so that I can upload it earlier. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll need to see. As for now, 50% in. It's okay, not loving it, not hating it, kind of middle of the road for me. So I will check in with you guys when I finish it. So you just watched me read the last chapter and the epilogue for Underneath the Sycamore Tree. So obviously I just finished it. And yeah, so I am actually probably going to give this book 3.5 stars. It didn't stand out to me as much as I thought it was going to, but it's fine. I didn't cry, obviously, and I wasn't fully convinced on Emery and Caden and like how that all went through. But yeah, I actually kind of wish we got more of Emery and her dad, because there was a scene at the end that was really sad that I wish that probably could have hit harder had there been more of a relationship between Emery and her dad. But overall, it was just fine, very just like okay, so that's why it's a 3.5 for me. Nothing super stood out. I wasn't fully convinced on the romance. I'm still not. The epilogue is in Caden's point of view, and I think that actually worked very well, that I almost kind of wish we got, I'm pretty sure I said this earlier in this vlog, but I almost wish we got some chapters from his point of view throughout the book. But yeah, overall, Emery, she was an okay character. I wasn't super attached to really any of these characters, and that's probably why it didn't hit me as hard, or why I didn't cry or anything like that. But it's not a bad book by any means. There are a lot of tabs. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. So 3.5, not a bad rating at all. I believe in the beginning of this vlog, I said I was going to read 3 books, but I'm now only going to read 2 books. So that was the last book for this vlog. So the first one I read was 1,000 Boy Kisses, which did make me cry, and I gave it 5 stars. And I just finished Underneath the Sycamore Tree, that did not make me cry, but I gave 3.5 stars. So that's pretty much all I have for you. If you have any sad books that you think would make me cry, or that has made you cry, please comment them down below. I'm looking for a book. I'm still looking for the book that will completely shatter my entire life. So maybe you can have that recommendation for me. But yeah, so that is it from me today. You can like, comment, and subscribe down below if you'd like. All of my socials, follow me anywhere else, are in the description as always. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!